you have heat vision after watching this movie? I know I do. Let's talk about that. Supergirl 2026. That is going to be the movie that we will be reviewing today on this movie review video. Supergirl 2026. This is literally fresh out of the theater. I am filming this video fresh out of the theater. I just got home a couple minutes ago. Let's talk about first of all, let's talk about the acting. Okay, now before I get into it, if you do not know how I grade my movie reviews, I made an introduction video on how I grade my movie reviews. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you go watch that video first and then come back to this video if you're curious on how my grading system works. I will leave a link to that video in the description of this video, so you can go and watch it for yourself, because I'm not going to repeat myself again. So that being said, going back to the Supergirl 2026 movie review, let's talk about the first category. In other words, the first star. So the first star is acting. Okay, let's talk about the acting, because every single one of these actors absolutely gave it their all. Let's start with Jason Momoa, who played Lobo in this movie. Man, his scenes were absolutely unbelievable. You can tell Jason Momoa put all of his energy into this character and really brought this character to life. Every scene he was in was just freaking awesome. I was sitting there in the theater, and every time Lobo came across the screen, I was like, yeah, awesome. So Jason Momoa absolutely did an incredible job in this movie. Also, Millie Alcock. I saved the best for last. Millie Alcock, aka Kara Zor-El, aka the Supergirl. What a brilliant choice for Supergirl. I loved her character so much, and the acting, really, she gave it her all in this movie. There is a scene, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but there's a scene where she yells, right? She screams, like she really screams. And you can see all of the emotion coming out of her. She put a lot of energy into her character, and it really shows in this movie. Also, she knows how to act drunk. Let me just say that. She does a really good job at acting drunk. I love this gritty vibe to Supergirl. It's not the normal Supergirl version that you get. I have seen Melissa Benoist in the TV show Supergirl, and those two are such different vibes, and I love both of those vibes, actually. So this punk rock vibe, she definitely knows how to create that punk rock look. She definitely has that punk rock look, and she does a really good job at it as Kara Zor-El in the movie. Also, let's talk about her role as Supergirl. Her role as Supergirl is, like I said, it's perfect. It's perfect. She kicks some serious ass in this movie. When she finally gets to put that suit on, it's just iconic. And she really goes, literally, John Wick. She goes John Wick completely. So as far as the acting goes, the acting will earn a star from me. The acting definitely earns a star. So that's 1 star already right there. Let's talk about the second category, the second star. And that second star is the plot. Okay? The plot in this movie was super simple. It was not hard to follow at all. And it kept me engaged all the way through. And it's pretty straightforward, man. Something happens with her dog, and she goes all John Wick just to she travels, from galaxy to galaxy, from planet to planet, literally just going all John Wick style, beating the crap out of people, just to find the antidote for her dog, because her dog was poisoned. And this is all in the trailer, so this is not a spoiler. This is all in the trailer. But yeah, her dog is poisoned, and she goes out to try to find the antidote, and goes and seeks revenge on the villain who actually did that to her dog. So the plot is super simple, man. Super easy to follow. Not that big of a deal. So the second category literally gets a star from me. That's another star. So acting was good. Plot was easy to follow. That's 2 stars so far. Up next, the third category, the third star, is cinematography. The shots in this movie are absolutely unbelievable. The shots of Kara Zor-El being in the galaxy, being up in outer space, those shots are absolutely eye-popping. The galaxy shots were nice. The lighting was perfect. Everything about that movie was, like, the lighting itself was perfect. Everything about it was perfect. What else was good? Krypton. The scenes, the flashbacks of Krypton were shot perfectly as well. So the cinematography, the third subject, also earns a star from me. That's 3 stars. The fourth category we are going to be judging this movie on is the pacing. Now, the pacing, in my opinion, I feel like it is 90% of what makes a movie. Because if the pacing is too slow, you're not going to enjoy the movie. You're going to fall asleep during the movie. And it's just not going to be an enjoyable movie if the pacing is slow. If the pacing is fast, too fast, the movie is going to feel short. So you have to have that perfect balance right down the middle. The pacing has to be, it has to have that perfect pacing. And for me, the pacing of this movie was absolutely perfect. The pacing of this movie was perfect. Keep in mind that I watched this movie right after work. I literally went to work. I woke up at 5 in the morning. I went to work. I started work at 6:30 in the morning. Got off at 12:45. Movie started at 3 p.m. Bam. Literally went straight to the movie. And I could have fallen asleep because I was literally exhausted. But that was not the case. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. And of course, there are the emotional scenes where obviously the scene is kind of slow and it's mellow, and it's supposed to be that way because it's an emotional scene. And it was not slow for me at all. So the pacing in this scene, the pacing in this movie earns a star from me for sure. So that is 4 stars so far. And now, last but not least, if you're still with me, thank you for sticking with me. We are at the fifth and final category. The fifth and final star is the music in this movie. If you do not add music in a film project, it would not feel complete. Unless you are doing a found footage horror film. Found footage is a different category. You don't necessarily need music for found footage. But for Supergirl, you definitely need music. And the music, the way that I am judging the music on, I am not going to be judging the music on my personal taste. This is not my personal taste in music. I will never judge the movie on my personal taste. I will only judge the music if it enhanced the scene. And to me, the music in this movie absolutely enhanced the movie. It enhanced every scene, and the music fit perfectly with every single scene in this movie. There was not a moment where I was thinking to myself, the song sounds kind of weird. It doesn't really go with this scene. There was never a moment where I was asking myself that. The music never distracted me from the movie either. It actually enhanced it. And what I mean by that is especially the emotional moments in this movie. Kara talking to her dog after her dog was shot by the poison. Again, this was all in the trailer, so this is not a spoiler. All of those scenes and the scenes of her being in Krypton, in her home planet, those scenes were emotional, and the music enhanced those scenes. So, did the music work for me in this movie? Absolutely. So, the music gets a star as well. So there you go, folks. The final score for Supergirl is 5 out of 5 stars. Truly, I don't understand the bad criticism that this movie has been getting from. I'm sure you've heard other criticism, other bad reviews from other people. I don't understand it, but that's just my opinion. So, yeah, man, there you go. Supergirl received 5 out of 5 stars from me. So, Supergirl, is it A, worth seeing in theaters, B, rented on streaming, or C, don't waste your time? The answer is A, worth seeing in theaters. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I'm David Starks. As always, I will see you next time for another movie review.